To drive revenue so we can give the players extra income opportunities. I had to actually educate the players. They're like, good, 75 million divided by 144, pay us.
But with all of the drama currently surrounding the WNBA, on top of the low-paying salaries, some of these players are questioning if they'll even return.
But you're still complaining about the max salary being $250,000. You're still complaining about the absence of eyeballs. You're still complaining about the lack of headlines and notoriety and pub and cachet. You're complaining about all of these.
With speculation circulating regarding Caitlin Clark's huge $100 million offer to play in Europe and an offer to acquire a portion of the Indiana Fever from the WNBA, the WNBA is facing a potential crisis unlike any other.
Global platform now that Caitlin will have coming into the professional ranks. So it's really a great time to be in basketball.
Other WNBA players are experiencing jealousy in addition to pressure, which might result in a player strike or perhaps a lockout. What would happen if WNBA players demanded Clark-level contracts but the league was unable to provide them? Today, we're exploring the potential for a WNBA lockout driven by resentment, inequalities in income, and athletes seeking higher compensation in Europe.
Probably the biggest issue that players had. We did player survey and travel. The league was able to kind of take a lot of pressure off of itself.
Stay tuned as we go over every detail. Players in the WNBA have long advocated for fair compensation and improved working conditions.
Yeah, what's the headline? It says, we're not asking to get paid what the men get paid. We're asking to get paid the same percentage of revenue share.
However, the revelation of a European team's alleged $100 million offer to Caitlin Clark.
EuroLeague has reportedly extended a monumental $100 million contract to Caitlin Clark.
And the WNBA's answer to provide a position of ownership for the Fever.
But we didn't want to rush into it because we wanted new owners, like new ownership groups. Anyone who knows sports here knows, like, it's a slog to be a sports.
Z has fueled a fire that was already boiling. Considering their positions as well-known players in the league, WNBA players like A.A. Wilson, Angel Ree, and Breanna Stewart have made headlines, and there is mounting annoyance that they aren't getting the same financial opportunities.
A lot of this noise came by people that were sitting on this network. They tried to minimize her, said, well, you giving her all this credit.
As Caitlin, the effect. The consequence of Clark P's WNBA ownership choices in Europe is not only monetary, it's also emotional.
It's definitely upsetting. I don't think nobody in our league should be facing any sort of racism, hurtful, disrespectful, hateful comments and threats.
Because they are paid less than their male colleagues and those in other international leagues, WNBA players have been demanding higher compensation for years.
You don't even... Yo! I'm living beyond my means! It's like, no, my rent is more than that. It's $8,000. I'm living beyond my means.
The difference is now more obvious than ever because to Clark's extraordinary offers, which are causing speculation of a possible lockout or strike in the upcoming season.
Angel Reese has spoken out about her WNBA salary, saying it doesn't even cover her rent for a year. This isn't the first time a WNBA player has spoken out about their salary.
WNBA players' feelings of jealousy and annoyance aren't merely conjecture. Actual players, like Angel Reese, have publicly questioned the league's compensation system and even pointed to Clark's contract as an example of unfairness.
There's that 4-year period where you need to grow as a person, but then the NIL comes into play. Oh, we keep walking right back into it.
Some players are demanding European-level compensation from the WNBA because, despite her success landing big endorsement deals in the US, Reese still makes a small portion of what Clark could make elsewhere.
As more people watch, more people come to arenas, where more people buy merch, rep the teams. I would say values have gone up at least 10 times, if not more, since I've been here, and I'm only 4 years here.
Possibly laying the groundwork for a significant conflict, the WNBA has one of the lowest salary caps among professional sports leagues, with the highest paid players earning about $234,990 a year. In contrast, Clark's $100 million offer would make her the highest paid women's basketball player in the world, and if she decided to remain a partial owner, her wealth could increase more quickly than that of any previous WNBA player because WNBA team values have increased tenfold in the last 4 years alone.
It's so hard to tune in and watch WNBA games because of streaming platforms. You know what I'm saying? You got to log in, and my poor mom's trying to subscribe to 3 different channels to get the to get the game. that's my mom, you know? A casual fan's not going to put in that type of effort, so.
Despite being marquee players who drive viewership and item sales, this has left many WNBA stars feeling undervalued and mistreated. Could we truly be on the cusp of a WNBA lockout like it's?
And the Fever are going to be over 200,000 higher than the next highest total attendance in league history.
Clarkonomics, my friend!
Players have the power they require, and the likelihood seems more serious than ever given the league's growing popularity in 2024, which was primarily fueled by Clark's outstanding rookie campaign.
Aren't just bringing in a big boost to television views, they're also having a big impact on local businesses. From bars to restaurants, everybody wants to get out to watch the Hawkeyes hit the hardwood.
According to Fanatics, the WNBA saw record attendance, nearly 50% more TV viewers, and a 450% spike in retail sales.
We're not asking you to get paid what the men get paid. We're asking you to get paid the same percentage of revenue shared.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Got it. So that's a huge misconception.
That's a huge misconception.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, because every video is like, oh, this person gets paid this person gets...
Yeah.
However, the players feel that their incomes haven't increased as a result of this financial windfall. If players' requests aren't satisfied, the WNBA Players Association has already threatened to take action. This isn't just about wanting more money, it's also about equality and respect. Players may refuse to show up for training camp, boycott games, or even leave the floor.
Annually for the league can go back to the bargaining table for the media rights deal when they assess how popular the league is 3 years from now.
The possible lockout isn't just a threat, it's also a negotiating chip, with Clark's reported proposal representing the economic consequences and everything WNBA players believe they should have access to but don't.
Gives lost money. This will be the last time we see that headline, based on the money allocated through the NBA and the fact that they negotiated their TV rights with some streamers, they've got networks.
Players understand that in order to sustain its current momentum, the WNBA needs its stars on the court. A strike or lockout could completely destroy the league's development, resulting in lost sponsorships, decreased TV ratings, and empty arenas. As a result, the league has lost money this year.
Hated by blacks anyway, so what would be a bigger stance than us refusing to play during a time where people are dying for some type of entertainment? Unfortunately, the world, business, and specifically billions of dollars just doesn't work that way.
The economic effects of a WNBA lockout would be dire. It would probably result in a sharp decline in TV viewership, ticket sales, and merchandise sales. Revenue networks who have made significant investments in WNBA game broadcasting, like as ESPN and CBS, would have to deal with monetary losses as a result of unsold broadcast slots and lost ad revenue.
I was one of the guys saying I think they'll play a 50 or 60 game season. I thought the lockout would extend into the season and we'd have a shortened year.
A lockout might cause the WNBA to regress by years, as major sponsors like Nike, State Farm, and Impac might re-evaluate their investments and possibly withdraw from long-term agreements if the league's top players aren't participating. The WNBA is still working to establish itself as a successful enterprise.
W thinks that they don't have to pay us more in order for us to be here. And I think I didn't express that when I first talked about prioritization. You know, our commissioner talked about us being able to, you know, make 700,000. That's not true at all. There's not one player who makes that.
The WNBA would find it difficult to continue on its current course without these financial supporters, which could result in layoffs. On the player side, players who are already underpaid in comparison to their international counterparts would experience significant pay cuts during a lockout, which would result in lower marketing budgets and less league visibility. If a lockout occurs, many WNBA stars might follow Caitlin Clark's example and relocate to Europe, where salaries are higher and financial incentives are more alluring.
Diana Taurasi played in Russia and did not play in the WNBA, and it was never outright stated that she didn't play in the WNBA because Russia paid Diana Taurasi at that time $1.5 million. WNBA, the salary, like the highest salary in the league, was $107,000.
Significantly larger salaries are offered by European leagues such as the Spanish Liga of Women, the Russian Premier League, and the Turkish Women's Basketball Super League, TKBL. Improved travel circumstances and further money rewards athletes such as A.A. Wilson, Angel Reese, Brianna Stewart, and others might look into European contracts. Losing its best players to the WNBA. players have been migrating to Europe for years. During the WNBA offseason, celebrities like Sue Bird, Brittany Griner, and Diana Taysai have played abroad.
First, we want to take those 12.3 million viewers and bring them into the WNBA. Make sure they know where to find us, exactly what our games of consequence are, what our tentpole events, whether it's our All-Star game or our Commissioner's Cup or our
However, a lockout might force this to be a full-time swap. If top players move to Europe in large numbers, it could have disastrous effects on the economy because European teams have the means and are willing to pay multi-million-dollar contracts that the WNBA currently cannot match. The WNBA might become a developmental league instead of a top venue for female basketball players. The WNBA and its players would not be the only ones affected economically. The U.S. economy as a whole would also benefit from having professional sports teams, particularly during the summer when the NBA is off-season. A lockout could have an impact on nearby establishments like restaurants, hotels, and retail stores, all of which profit from game day revenue. What exactly are WNBA players asking for, though, given that they admit that a $100 million salary for each player is unrealistic, in addition to significant raises, better working conditions, and increased marketing and promotion expenditure?